Hey guys, how's it going? This is a weird thing to do. I had a couple of drinks and had a great night and really fancied just saying hi. Tonight I'm with my kid,
Yo.
my oldest, Leon.
Hi.
Say hi to everyone properly.
Hi, I'm Leon. How are you all today? You doing good?
It's really interesting actually because I've been doing this for a very long time and Leon's very nervous. Isn't he?
Yeah, it's just, my first time, getting ready, getting
Yeah.
started.
If you are watching and you want to say hello, we've got no plans by the way. I just wanted to hit record
Just
and
give us
talk.
questions, we'll talk about 'em.
Chime in with a comment and say hello to us. So I want to talk about a bit about. Can you hear us, by the way? Okay, I feel like I can't hear my head. I haven't got my headphones on, so I can't hear my voice. But anyway, we want to talk about things that people that inspire us. Okay, because I did a great show with, by the way, with Mike Gamboa. And we sat and drank beer and talked about beers, and it was just really nice because these beers took me back. They took me back to really good times. Let me show you what we were drinking.
I wasn't drinking these, by the way.
No, you weren't drinking. You were playing FIFA.
Yes.
So this one, Blue Moon, we were drinking today. It's Belgian white. Blue Moon is a really nice beer that inspires me because the last time I drank Blue Moon was at the Shrewsbury Smoke Stop, where we all got together for my birthday, and it was just really nice having all my friends around me.
Yeah, I like it when you get that kind of atmosphere, with your mates.
Well, yeah, and when you get a certain smell or a certain taste or a certain
Yeah.
sound or something, it sort of takes you back, right?
I have that sometimes at my house.
It's called nostalgia. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And we also drank Guinness. Wow. We drank a couple more, but this is the Guinness original extra stout, and it was really nice. And like drinking this beer, the Guinness. Obviously, everybody's drank Guinness. We've all had a beer, but it's really weird how a certain sort of taste or a certain smell or something takes you back. And I remember this time in Ireland when I was with my brother Simon. We were in Bantry, and we went to a pub, and I went to order a Guinness. Not thinking like going to Ireland for me wasn't like a holiday. It isn't like a thing. Oh, I'm going to Ireland. I'm going to drink Guinness. It was just like I fancy a Guinness. I'm going to order a Guinness, and it's like you don't order that here. We drink Murphy's. You fucking idiot. We're not tourists. So drink Murphy's. Don't drink Guinness. Weirdly, it took me there, but I do like a good Guinness. Good times, right?
Yeah, good time.
So I was thinking, let's talk about things that inspired us, because like if a smell and a taste can inspire us and take us back, let's talk about people when we were growing up who we really looked up to. So who are like your favorite people growing up now? This is going to be great insight for you guys. I've got kids that are 15-year-old.
There's loads. I'm going to take you step by step so you get most of it out. There's this one actor I really, really love, and his name's Jim Carrey. Don't know if you know him. Honestly, like people who are watching now. He's like one of the best actors I've ever watched. And he started from like nothing to like this one of the biggest stars in world history. And it just inspires me because it tells you don't have to be any age or any no one can stop you at any age or.
I love Jim Carrey. So Jim Carrey has got like. When people think about Jim Carrey, throw in the comments, by the way, what you think about Jim Carrey, because I love Jim Carrey. I think he's fantastic. When I think about Jim Carrey, I think about this. My mum's not watching now. We got one viewer. That we didn't plan this, so I expected that. But we went to. It was a Friday night, and Friday nights were horror movie night, right? So we'd go and horror movie and get some Skittles and some popcorn and stuff, right? And they held up this case. And it was Ace Ventura, and it had this weird picture of this guy like with his card on the cover, and I was kind of like, no, don't put that on. I don't want that. And I had a tantrum, genuine tantrum. I think I was about 10. No, I wouldn't have been 10. I'd have been younger than that, probably about 8. And I had a tantrum in the store. I didn't want this film. My mum brought it back, and it was one of the greatest things I ever saw.
Oh,
Ace Ventura is amazing. So from that moment, I fell in love with the guy. But some people feel like he's not a serious actor. Some people don't like his stuff. Some people genuinely don't like silly things.
I don't really see him as an actor, you know. I see him more of like a stand-up comedian. Like that's where he started, isn't it?
And his stand up was okay. It wasn't nothing special. It was more his impressions.
Yeah,
That's
he
really
was
good.
unique. He was different to others.
Yeah. His stand up was good, but I really loved his movies. And there are some standout ones. Obviously, there was Ace Ventura and Liar Liar.
Yeah.
Yes Man is one of my favorite movies of all times. If you're watching right now and you've got a favorite Jim Carrey movie, throw it in the comments because we need suggestions for conversation.
Or any movie, really.
Any movie. Who are your inspirations growing up? Who did you think of? Okay, so you shared one of your inspirations. Let me share one of mine. This is going to be a weird one for you guys, and you're probably going to be like, oh fuck, Whiteley. Here he goes again. Will Smith. Will Smith was one.
He's actually underrated, to be fair.
I loved Will Smith growing up, right? Men in Black, Wild Wild West. It's probably not the best to go on. I loved it. But Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for me was growing up was just a really great break from reality. Really, you come home from school, you'd watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and you just disappear for a bit. And then there's of course his movies and his music too, right? Because if you liked hip hop, you weren't allowed to like Will Smith. That was like a common thing because he didn't swear and he wasn't hardcore. But I found that he didn't swear as a sign of intelligence. It was like he would wrap around the swear words, if you know what I mean,
to get more people in.
It was cheesy as hell. One of my favourite songs is very unfortunate because it's called "I'm Coming." And he would literally, like, if you've ever listened to the Millennium album, you'll have heard it. And he just goes on this tirade. It's a brilliant song, but the chorus is "I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming," and it's I love that song, but secretly.
So when did you start liking him?
Bad Boys is one of my favourite films. It was one of the films where I wasn't supposed to really have watched it because Bad Boys is quite a rude film, you know. But I loved me some Bad Boys. Action, comedy, Will Smith, Martin Lawrence. That film for me was just... It did something to me. So from that moment I saw Bad Boys, I was like, yes. And at that time he was dropping those club bangers. Club bangers, you can call it. Yeah, that was the moment for me. And I did. So when I was growing up, if my mum does watch this, she'll appreciate it a little bit, maybe. We didn't have an awful lot of money, so if when it comes to Christmas, we'd have a couple of music albums and a video game or a couple of toys, nothing much, right? And the one year she bought me Millennium, which is the album, and I listened to it cover to cover again and again and again and again and again. I fucking love that album so much. So yeah, it was a big inspiration for me because, you know, I really like the stuff he did.
Yeah.
So you've gone with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I've gone with Will Smith. Have you got another one? I'm still waiting to see some suggestions, by the way, in the comments of any.
If you suggest it, we'll talk about it and stuff.
Andy Imhoff has commented here and said, your sense of smell is more strongly tied to memories and emotions than any of the others. Okay, so that makes sense. I guess it probably goes back to like caveman days. You know, you sort of smell lion. You know, there's a lion near. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking up my ass. Make sure you're speaking to that microphone.
Okay, I will.
Okay, so yeah, another inspiration for you. Someone that you really loved growing up, and you still do probably.
Not to be cheesy or anything, but probably you. You know.
Me?
Yeah, you know, I looked up to you, you know, and stuff. Like, I wanted my beard to be like yours. I wanted, like, my hair to be like yours, even though you have none.
I've got no hair.
Like, you know, I just inspired from you, you know. I, like, used to talk like you in school. I used to, like, walk like you in school. I don't know why. I just, just looked up to you.
Here's me. I'm like, oh, let's just throw up a podcast. Let's just talk about random stuff. And my kid's breaking my heart on the internet. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But what about me? Okay, I don't want
You just chill, aren't you? Like, you're just low down, aren't you? You just don't really care. Like, but you care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're there when I need you. I'll message you. You'll be there. If I need to come to you, you come.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I mean, I'm not gonna stop giving you pocket money right now because you said that.
I don't need the money.
No, that's not. That's nice to hear. Inspirations are good, and it's good that you can look up to your parents.
My mum and all, she was also someone I looked up to as
Yeah.
well. She was strong to be able to look after 4 kids and stuff.
Yeah, she's awesome. George Lugo's in the chat. How's it going, George? Nice to hear off you, man. Who's your inspiration growing up, George? Who did you really look up to? That's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
I've got to think of another one now. Who did I really look up to? Okay, so this is an interesting one. When I was in school, I was a very angry, hot-headed kid. Go figure, right? And I took geography as here's the actual story. When I was between this is how it works in the UK, right? So between years 7 and 9, you have your compulsory classes that you take, and one of them for me was geography. And I was very angry. Some guy was giving me shit in class. I got up and I wanted to beat him to death.
Fair enough.
I wanted to beat him to death. And my geography teacher stood in front of me and was like, "Don't do that. That's really bad. You're very angry. Go outside for 5 minutes." And then I threatened to beat him to death.
Oh dear.
And he was like, "Yeah, I understand. How you feeling? And I would probably too if I was your age. But for now, go outside for 5 minutes, calm down, and we'll have a chat." We did. We had a talk, and he told me that I needed to have some focus in my life and find something to burn off a bit of steam. From that moment, he said, "There's the Army Cadets," which I joined the Army Cadets, which you know about.
Yeah.
So for many years, I joined the Army Cadets, and it really helped me with my anger, my self-discipline, things like that. It really did. And I took his class. As a GCSE, which is after year 9 in the UK schools. You take your options and you choose the classes you want, which you think will help better your grades into the job position that you want when you're older. So I took geography, absolutely aced it.
What you got today, George?
And I've got Mr. Fletcher. Mr. Fletcher from Bryn Offa School. To thank for that. He was a very, very good guy.
Teachers are good, aren't they, to look up to you?
Some are straight out the textbook, back to the pupils writing on a board.
Teachers get so much abuse, though, don't they, for doing their job? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a difficult job. I don't think I could do it. Could you?
Probably. It depends, really, what subject it is. I couldn't do PE.
I feel like I don't think it matters what the subject is, as long as if it's something you're passionate about, right, and you know you can pass on. I feel like it's that's your calling, right? If like maths comes easier to you, if it's just the easiest thing, and you feel like you could help people learn maths,
Yeah.
then you should be able to do that. But it's about, when it comes to teaching, it's all about, a lot of it is about compassion and empathy, about understanding human beings as the individual. The cliche thing in movies and TV is that, he's been a teacher for 30 years, doesn't really care anymore, he's kind of grey and withered and not really bothered anymore. But Mr. Fletcher wasn't that. He was an older guy, kind of been through it all, seen all the shit you can imagine, but it's still kind of really good at sort of speaking as it is, and at the same time helping people, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It helps a lot of kids to get away from homes as well, though, doesn't it? To get them out more.
Well, that's the thing I worry about with lockdown. I mean, what's seriously, you're not going to get in trouble. What's lockdown been like for you, being away from school?
It's been depressing, really.
Yeah?
I miss, just having to do something, you know. I just sit down all day doing nothing, playing on my games. And I got bored at some point. It was good for like maybe the first 4 weeks. I was happy and stuff. I wasn't in school. Then I realized how scary it was because I'm in year 11, and this is like the last year for me. My GCSEs were going down and down and down because I couldn't do any work. I was in lockdown. I didn't have a computer or anything to do the work. So when I was just sitting there thinking, if I was in school now, I could get my grades up, but I can't because it's coronavirus.
I feel like there's going to be something that's going to be put in place for people that have struggled through coronavirus. I'm really hoping that for your year because it's not been very fair. Maybe if it's an extra 6 months of tuition, sort of learning.
I've already got my plans up. I'm planning to join a farm and something I can.
You want to go on a farm, don't you? Yeah, you really want to do that. You want to work on a farm. What have things been like in America? If anybody's watching right now, what have
we got a message?
We have got messages. George says, "My dad was my inspiration. He was always good to people and helped others when they were down on their luck." And he says, "He's the reason I am the man I am today." And they do. They deserve more respect as in teachers. George, you're a good guy. Whenever I speak to George, he's always very kind. Even when he's had a few beers, had a few drinks, he's a nice guy. You know,
parents are underrated. If you're a parent out there, respect to you. Honestly, like they do so much for like.
Some do, some don't. I mean, I've not been the best parent because of distance between us.
You've still done your best, haven't you? Still been able to get me over here. If you didn't care, I wouldn't be here in this seat today.
Nah, it's a group effort between me and you. And your folks.
We've had our differences and our falling outs, but
Hey, what's family without dispute, right? Okay, I've gone with my geography teacher. Who else out there? Is there an actor or a musician out there? What kind of music are you into? What kind of things do you look to when you're feeling down?
I like listening to music, but what really gets me is when I make music myself.
When you make music, yeah?
Yeah, it's just something about it. I look at it and I say, I made that. And when other people listen to it, I know I'm making others happy.
Yeah, you've made me music before for Thorskin. I remember we did a segment on Thorskin. I think it was possibly for Butt Chug Island. I can't remember. I'm a bad example of a parent, by the way. Don't introduce your kid to games like called Butt Chug Island. But no, yeah, you're very talented.
I got my good side. I've also got my bad side with music. Sometimes I maybe jam some music up and rush it, But sometimes when I'm in that one mood, really stressed out and I'm in a passion to make something, I'll make something like I even myself to this day think is good.
So do you think you make better music when you're pissed off?
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just something in my head. It's like you need to let it out. I let it out through music and stuff.
It's a very popular belief that when you're angry, when you're sad, when you're feeling bad, or whether you're feeling good, sometimes when you're floating on thin air and you're happy and you're on cloud nine and you make something, it's great. Sometimes when you're angry, you make something that sounds completely different. Yeah. But they are the best emotions to be in. It's a cliche thing to say. Bands are great when they're hungry.
Yeah.
And the best example for that is probably, for me, the Arctic Monkeys. Arctic Monkeys were great. They made 2 great albums. They were angry. They had something to say. And they were putting it out there. And they were fantastic. And then they got very famous. Very well acclaimed. And then they started making this strange guitar, weird sort of stuff.
You have to be different, don't you? You have to be unique.
That's because they weren't angry anymore. They weren't hungry and they weren't out there to get it. And that happens a lot. That's what they call it the second difficult album, because when you give a band all that money and all that attention, they've made it. And they're the whole process behind making music, which is why when bands like Coldplay and make bands past the third album, they're great and they carry on being great. That's something special. It really is.
If I was to ever earn money for my music, it won't go towards me. It'll go towards some charities and maybe even towards equipment to help me level up in a way.
So what kind of music do you like to make?
DJ. I'm also trying to practice towards singing as well. Just put my vocals into DJ music and stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah, just to change it up a bit. I always do the same.
Interesting. Interesting. Don't you think it'd be difficult though to run tech, making music while singing at the same time though?
I need my own space, you know. Before I'm able to sing, I need my own space, which I don't really have.
Make a track, play it on a loop, sing to it, sort of thing.
Yeah, but I'll have to be on my own to do it because I don't know if I could sing on others.
I reckon that's common. I mean, I would never. I'm not a good singer, guys. I'm not a good singer. Don't ask me to sing. I do sing a lot though, around the house and stuff.
The thing I'm excited for is when I have my own podcast, which will happen soon, by the way. When I have the mic and stuff, that's why I'll probably start like singing and stuff because it honestly sounds better than just singing into a phone.
Yeah, the reason why we're doing this, guys, is because me and Leon want to do something together.
Yeah,
make a podcast together. I do have some equipment lying around. I just need to get my laptop. Somebody wants to buy us a laptop. That's great. We'll get you a laptop soon, and we'll start making a podcast with you because I think that'd be really good. Actually, it'd be good to sort of catch up as father and son, sort of what you've been up to, and then I think the idea is to bring some mysterious stories and yeah.
I like it. You know, it's just one-on-one time with my father. You know, I'm just talking to others out there. You know, George. You know, you're doing good.
George is great. He's a good guy. George is part of the Speakeasy Gentlemen. I remember I was showing you around the studio just and all the different parts of our studio. Well, there's a pull down for Speakeasy Gentlemen, which is Piers, Josh, George, and David. He did send a message. It's here. It says,
that is 100% true, to be fair.
Tragedy and hard times help creativity.
They do.
Yeah, there's what's his name at the Libertines? Is it Pete Doherty? George, help me. Is it Pete Doherty from the Libertines? There's a picture of him recently. So Pete Doherty, I think that's his name, was a drug-taking, drunk mess when he was in the Libertines, and his picture was everywhere. Like, don't be like this. Don't do drugs and alcohol. Look at this guy. He's a mess. And then there's a picture of him alive, healthy and well, but got a belly on him now in his 40s. And I was like, and I looked at this picture and I thought, good on him, you know. He survived.
Yeah, that's something hard to do, isn't it?
Not only did he survive, but he survived as one of the greatest musicians of all time. The Libertines were fantastic. I don't advocate going out there and getting fucked up. Absolutely not, because that's really bad for you. But don't always listen to the press. I think that's the most important thing there. Right?
Press are always trying to get something to put on the knees.
Well, that's it. Yeah,
title lines and stuff.
So yeah, we're thinking of doing a podcast. Me and Leon. We're gonna do.
We're still thinking of names. We've got a couple. I've forgotten it myself. But if you've got suggestions, you can send them in. You know.
So it's a podcast between father and son, where we look at what we're going to do. Like, I like the idea of you coming up to me with like spooky mysteries or urban myths or conspiracies, and I try and debunk them by researching them, see if they're true or not.
Because you don't really believe in spirits and stuff like I do. I'm 100% a believer. If you're a believer,
the thing is, I've seen things, and I saw something earlier in the year, and it actually got vindicated. It got vindicated. Is that the right thing? Proven, not proven, but okay. So I was at Gloria, my mother-in-law's apartment block. I saw a figure. I saw something. You guys all saw it on Facebook, right? You remember? I don't want to talk about it again. It's weird. And it freaked me out completely because it's the first time I've actually seen like a full thing. And I put it on Facebook. I was like, yo, I saw this thing. And it was kind of, some people were like, whoa, tell me about it. And, you know, I hate stuff like that because I feel like that's like an attention seeker sort of thing to do. Sorry, people, but that's just how I think. So I put it on there because I genuinely saw it. I was genuinely shocked. And I didn't know what to do with the energy. I just got that feeling. And there was a lady in the apartment building was like, we've all seen it. And I was like, no way. I didn't even know this lady. Mo is amazing. I know her now. She's fantastic.
I've seen so much stuff. Have you heard of a Denbighshire Nut House?
The what?
Denbighshire Nut House.
The Denbighshire Nut House.
Yes. Mental asylum in Denbighshire.
So in the world of politically incorrect, it's a medical facility for people with mental health issues in Denbighshire.
It's been closed down for over a couple of years now, and me, my mum, and my stepmom decided to drive up there to have a look. And I there's like a little hole in the fence. So I was like, basically you just walk down. There's like the building in front. Then you walk on a centre which leads to a woods, which is
To the mic.
oh yeah, sorry. You turn around this like corner and it leads to like a woods. And there's like a fencing, like metal fencing out to like the gardens. So there's a hole there. Me and Nicky climbed up and we walked around for a bit. I turned around and there's something standing there screaming at me, like a little bird thing, like a massive 8-foot tall bird. And I look back to Nicky and I look back and it's gone. I couldn't believe it. And I shout to my mum saying there's a bird here or something. I don't know if it's dangerous or not. And I till this day I know that's not a bird. There's no 8-foot tall birds in this country. It was taller than me and it screamed at me. I looked behind and I turned back, no sign of it. I looked up, looked down, looked side. I even ran to the area it was in. It wasn't there.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, and I've also seen all sorts of stuff. There was this one time I was
At band camp.
No, I was in my house.
See, right, this is a generational thing. He said one time, and I said at band camp, and he didn't know what the fuck I was going on about.
What is
I
band
said,
camp?
What? What? So you said this one time, and I said at band camp, and you don't realise the significance of that. Right, guys, so if you listen to this show and you're my age, we are officially old. That
George
is
is
it.
laughing.
Yeah, George is like, lol. That's official. We are old. He said one time, and I said at band camp, and he didn't know what the significance. That's off
that like a
American.
camp?
What?
Is it
No, it's off American Pie. This one time at band camp,
No.
George is American Pie. We're old guys. That's it. This guy's 15, right? Some American Pie.
Right, basically, I'm going to continue my story if I'm allowed.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, please, sorry.
I was
Please
lying,
do.
I don't know if I told you the story before, but like I was lying in my bed and I wake up and I see some. I got a brother called Alfie. There's this time with long hair and it came down to his shoulders.
He looked like a surfer. It was well cool.
It was sick. Basically, I looked up and I have like this cupboard in my room. It's a short room. There's like a double decker bed, and there's like a door there and like the cupboard that's built into the wall. Don't know if you remember, and there was something standing in front of it because it had long hair and it was staring at me. I thought it was Alfie, so I said, like, "Alfie, what you doing?" But I heard him on top of the bunk bed, like moving about and stuff. And I look back, it's gone. In my eyes, it just disappears.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Are you sure it's not your mum going?
Thing is,
Have you done your homework?
no. Thing is,
Have you? Have you?
my mum seen it, Lily seen it, Alfie seen it, even Stewie seen it.
Well,
In different places as well, including holidays.
the thing is, right? If you like before I saw that thing on the stairs in the apartment block I was staying at, I would probably say, yeah, whatever, bullshit. But I've seen it now.
Mm-hmm.
I know these things exist, but at the same time, I don't think anybody's in any harm. Nobody's ever died from seeing a ghost. So I mean,
I hate it when ghost adventures or something. They say who's there. When they say like hi, they scream and they shout and they like get dead upset. They say, "What are you doing here?" We just asked him to say hello, and he said hi.
you want to go into some abandoned buildings, don't
Yes,
you?
I do. 100%. I'm not scared of ghosts.
So I've got the ability to take microphones and sit in abandoned buildings. I kind of don't want to.
Yeah, you're just a wussy.
I am a wuss because even though I don't believe in sort of spirits and things like that, any sort of noise, I'm kind of like, grab all the stuff. And
I feel like you run.
it happened to me in the prison. It did. I stayed there at the Shrewsbury prison, which is a closed
I feel
prison
like
now.
it'd be cool to live stream it though, you know. So
They do live stream. If you go to Shrewsbury Prison on Facebook, there are usual live streams going on. People really love that place because it's one of the most haunted buildings in the UK.
mad.
It's an amazing tourist place. Make sure you check it out. Anyway, so I went to stay there the one night with. I was doing something for Thorskin. You remember Thorskin, guys? That was amazing. Those days. And I was doing something for the Weekly Bazaar. I wanted to do like a spooky episode, so I stayed overnight and in the prison and set up a podcast studio little thing in the up on the threes. And
First of all, why? Why would you go? Why would you put yourself through that?
because I don't believe in that stuff. I didn't. I don't.
Even though like,
You don't understand, right? You don't understand this place. I've told all the stories. I've told about the ghosts and stuff. Yet I still turned up as it was
So if you didn't believe in ghosts, would you turn up to a random abandoned place and just sleep there?
and I still probably would today.
You're crazy.
So this place is turned into the prison is turned into a scare park during autumn. Yeah, well, Halloween's in autumn, Halloween. And the first year I was there, I was a zombie. I played a zombie, and
Oh yeah, I remember.
I was on C Wing, and C Wing has got these metal staircase, runs up the side. It's a very thin staircase and very uneven, and that is the staircase that people were marched up before they go to death row and be hung, because the hanging room was just at the top of the room, right?
Taking me to that room.
And I'm sat there, pitch black, on my own, dressed as a zombie, and there's a giant speaker below me playing like Resident Evil sort of ambience, sort of sounds, and I'm sat there vaping by myself, and I don't feel. I'm literally chilling, waiting for the next batch of customers. I'm sorry for admitting
People
to
are
vaping.
watching. Could you do that? Could you generally do that, to sit in dark on your own? Listen.
And I'd already got told. And in fact, before that, no, then after that, okay, so I did that. I did that loads, actually. It doesn't bother me. The night I stayed at the prison, there is a cell, I think it's C203, so it's cell block C, second level, number 3 across. And it's meant to be one of the most haunted cells there, because people, apparently there was like, nobody's watching anymore. Were my horror stories scaring you away? What the fuck? So we're definitely not doing this podcast. I'm joking. So we were in this cell, and I got told it was one of the most haunted places ever. And me and Lauren, who's the events manager there, I sat there doing a podcast in this thing, and Lauren was like, "Oh, thanks for that." And it had gone dark while we were doing this. She left me. I'm on my own in this cell, packing my things away. No problems at all. It's pitch black. I literally got my phone propped up in the corner so I could see my wires and stuff. No problems at all.
You're crazy.
And then that night, something weird happened.
Never again. You're doing that.
Something weird happened, and I'll never forget it. It's just a very odd situation where so there were ghost hunters there, and they had like spirit boxes that are like radio boxes, and like play different things from radios. I don't know if you get them in America. And they had like sensors, so if anything broke the sensor light, it would go off.
Yeah.
And we were sat on C Wing at the top of the stairs. There was about 5 of us, and these ghost hunters were like, "If you are there, tell us." And the spirit box go in, and the sensor go in. Is there anybody there? George Riley. They were shouting out George Riley's name because he was the last person executed in the UK, and he was executed at Shrewsbury. Lots of conspiracy behind that one. Google George Riley Shrewsbury, you'll see. And so that night was very windy, and you could hear cell doors across the prison getting blown shut. It was just one of those things. And in the cell block, I could hear, it's a cell wing, should I say, you could hear the generator going in the cafe behind the play barn, wherever that is, the cafe. And you could hear the wind blowing. All of a sudden, the generator kicked out, stopped. The wind sort of stopped outside. Everything went completely silent, and then one of the cell doors went wham in the door frame, absolutely slammed shut, and it was slammed with so much venom, and we automatically, all of us, felt this overwhelming feeling of fear. Get the fuck out, like. And that was very unwelcoming.
You wound something up.
We all got up and we all ran to A Wing. Went to A Wing, and at the time, Shane Hinton, if you know the Shrewsbury Biscuit, you know Shane is it, and also from Thorskin. He was like working the nights and making sure everybody's got everything they need, but he was working out of the prison. I was like, Shane, all this shit's just happened on C Wing, we need to get all our stuff. And I was like, oh man, I've got to go back and get their stuff, and oh my god, it was so scary. So he was like, fucking, come on, Whiteley, let's go. I was like, okay. So we went back, turned on all the lights on, and we picked up their sensors and their noise boxes and stuff. And even though the lights were on, I was with Shane, I was kind of brave, I was kind of picking up the stuff, and I didn't care. I still felt that feeling of unwelcome.
Yeah, you wound something up.
I don't know, but like that to me is something that I can put down to just
You
being.
can feel that when you walk into like the like doors. Really, you can feel like the urge of like something watching you. When you show me around at one time in the prison, you walking through like the prison gates and stuff, you felt like you weren't welcome. You felt like you were like getting watched.
I don't know. It's very weird. I think we could do a show like this though.
Yeah, it'd be nice. You know, get more views and stuff.
Yeah, nobody watching at the moment, but we've been going for 40 minutes. We should probably go.
Yeah, you know, do what you want, really.
Well, thank you, George and Andy, for your comments.
The rest of you will watch as well. I swear we got like 4 views at some point. Something like that. Thank you. We weren't really expecting much, to be honest. This is more like a test run, wasn't it?
That's the right way of putting it, yeah. A test run. Right. I'm going to go.
Oh, someone's here. So if you just joined, we're about to leave.
Yeah, the show's about to end. We've got about 10 seconds left before we end this.
If you want a message real quick. Oh, and the 2.
Well, we've got 2 listeners now.
We're about to end, but you know, if we get this to 3 views, we'll continue.
I realised we started the stream and I didn't even introduce Leon.
No, you didn't.
So, we'll do it backwards. So, Leon's my oldest son, he's 15. Lives in Wales. I haven't been able to see him much during lockdown because they closed the border. Yeah. But we've been in touch an awful lot, haven't we? We've been ringing each other and speaking to each other. Yeah.
Each other. Yeah.
So, in fact, actually, lockdown's kind of helped because we've been talking to each other a lot more. Haven't we?
George.
Yeah. So he hasn't been able to get rid of me. I'll be like, oi, what are you doing? Oi, what's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Dad, leave me alone. So he's here because he wants a bit of space.
Yeah, I've got wound up and I've walked out, to be fair.
That can be our next one. We'll do one tomorrow. Let's do one tomorrow.
I mean,
we'll do one tomorrow if you guys want to join us. We'll do it about the same sort of
What time?
Probably about 11 o'clock.
So if you're here now, tell your friends, tell your family, share it. If you do not, I'm going to find out where you live and kill you.
No, he won't.
That was a joke.
He won't. He's my kid.
Just come back, okay? It'll be better. I promise.
Tomorrow's show, I want to talk about siblings.
Yeah.
Let's. No, this isn't. Oh, my brother's a dick. I want to talk about him and name him and shame him.
He is.
I want to talk about.
Watching this, you're an idiot.
I want to talk about your siblings, the listener, if you're watching right now, and your brothers and sisters that wound you up. And I'm going to talk about mine, my feelings and thoughts.
You've got a lot, haven't you? A lot of siblings. I'm in contact with most of them as well.
I got 4.
Yeah. Your sister, I'm in contact with her.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that on tomorrow's show. This is a very limited edition of You Suck Live. The Whiteleys.
We have Leon Whiteley.
The Whiteley takeover. The You Suck guys, by the way, now on the chat are probably like, what? Can somebody tell me what the fuck Whiteley's doing? He just hit record and he's just rambling. Like, this isn't what we're supposed to be doing, guys. We're supposed to be professionals. But I've really enjoyed this, have you?
Yeah, it's been really nice. Thank you, George. Hopefully you do join tomorrow. It'll be really nice to see you.
Oh, George said he'd be listening. George is ace. George is ace.
Yeah, thank you, George.
He's either really, really supportive or he doesn't have a life. George, I love you, man. I love you.
I wish we could get him on, you know. But you know, it's the Whiteleys, you know. Sorry.
I would love to. I'd love to get George on the show, but yeah, he says this is real.
Yeah, it is, George. This is real. I hope it is, anyway.
But for now, I think this has just got to stay Whiteley, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Whiteley only.
The Whiteley gang, you know.
Barack Obama gets in touch and he's like, "I would really like to come on
Okay, George.
your show. You have real family values, and I believe in you." I'd be like, "Fuck you, Barack. It's the Whiteleys only." And he put, "I love you, buddy. Love you too, buddy." Right, let's get the fuck out of here.
This is Leon, and this is.
I'm Daddy. I'm the
this
daddy.
is Daddy.
I'm the daddy. Yeah, this has been weird, but I've loved it.
Yeah.
Right, okay, guys. Have you got anything to add before we get out of here?
Thank you for having me here. Really. Thank you for George. Thank you. You like the main audience. Really.
I thought you were going to call him an attraction. Then.
No.
George, you were the main attraction.
You were, to be fair. You're giving us the questions, you know. You sending us messages, making us feel good, you know.
all about the tits and ass. Right, we love you guys. We'll
Love
catch
you.
Peace out.